Hi, John Hudome here. This quick little video clip is an example of a timeline elicitation. And eliciting someone's timeline is really very easy. And this is a really good example because it's a woman with whom I've worked, and I had never talked with her about timeline before, and she didn't know anything about it. So it's a cold elicitation with no preparation whatsoever, and you'll see just how easily it goes. Kind of the last thing I want to do right now, because we're just about out of time, the last thing I want to do is just elicit from you your timeline. And just, I guess, for the purposes of the recording more than anything else, I've never talked with you about timeline before.
No.
Right? Okay. Okay. So my intention is that this is going to be a great example of how easy and effortless it is to elicit a timeline from someone. And if you think about it, you've heard of timelines before when you took a history class, right? They usually had a timeline so that when things began and when things ended. If we think of you and I and everybody in terms of, we have a way of knowing the difference between yesterday, today, and tomorrow. True? Mm-hmm. We tend to think that that sort of represents a timeline, that we can sort of put on a timeline the events in our lives. Okay? And I'm attempting to be as least suggestive as I possibly can in terms of my analogs and my gestures. So here's what I'd like you to do. Okay? So let's find out where your timeline is. It's really how you store time, how you represent the past, the present, and future to yourself. We all have a way of representing it to ourselves. If I were to ask you very literally to take that left index finger right there, okay? And if I were to ask you to take that index finger and just point in the direction of your past, where would you want to point? Exactly. And what about the future? And where's now? Great. Excellent. So this would imply a line, would it not? Mm-hmm. The past going way off in that direction, and the future going way off in that direction out there. So just go ahead and see or sense that timeline. And so this would imply a line, would it not? Mm-hmm. The past going way off in that direction, and the future going way off in that direction out there. So just go ahead and see or sense that timeline that you described to me in whatever way you see it or sense it. And you can, right? Mm-hmm. Great. Now, is that timeline of equal brightness all the way along? Is it equally bright the entire length?
No.
No? Is it brighter in the future? Is it brighter in the past? Is it brighter in the present?
The future.
The future's brighter? That kind of makes sense for most people,
right.
Doesn't it? Sure. Well, just for fun, imagine what it would be like if you took that dial and turned it up. Just make it brighter all the way along. The whole thing how bright can someone's life be, right? Okay. And then what I'd like you to do is you kind of look at that. Just imagine what it would be like if you could float way up above there. Okay? So that from way up there, you could just simply see that timeline drifting below. Mm-hmm. And how's it look from way up there?
It looks bright.
Got it? It looks bright. Perfect. In fact, float so high up above your timeline that the entire timeline of your life could be 2 or 3 or 4 inches long. Exactly. So from way up there, now how significant do things seem?
I just want to move towards the future.
Exactly. Yeah, good. Okay. Great. Then just allow yourself to float right back down into the room. Good. All right. And when we work together again, we're going to use that timeline as a way of making some additional changes. So there's a layering process to the way I like to do this. And we're kind of right where I want to be for right now. So do you have any questions?